Hello everyone, happy March 2021. This is going to be your general reading for March 2021. I just wanted to do a little intro this month where I can use the same clip over and over instead of having to do this each and every single reading. It gets old after a while having to repeat the same stuff. So hope you don't mind. Sorry these are coming out so late. Extra late, more than usual. It's because I started to go a little bit getting cabin fever really bad. It's been a while since I've left town, and so I decided to take my daughter with me out of town for a long weekend, just to experience something different. We needed to do that. It's been a long time since I've done anything special with her, and we needed to get out of town. So hopefully you understand. Some of you may totally understand or kind of in a similar boat. It's been a rough year for everyone. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, of course, the name of the sign that I'm doing is in the description of the video itself in the title, but I'm also going to announce the sign that this is for right after this little intro part. This reading is meant for if you have your rising sun, moon, or Venus in the sign that I'm going to say after this. This reading may or may not resonate for you. It might be one of those things where some of it resonates strongly, other parts may not. That is up to you to know. And if it doesn't resonate, maybe try out your moon or your rising sign readings. See if any of those resonate more. Also, I wanted to say that this month for March, I'm going to do the signs in the order of the most views from last month. And so it's going to be a spattering of different signs in no order. It's just going to go along with how many views I got. So I believe the biggest views or the most views for a video last month were for Taurus, so I'm going to start with them and so on. And if you are interested in a private reading with me, my email is in the description box down below, along with the names of the decks I'm using. I'm actually really excited because I have a new deck. I managed to score this used online. I guess it must be out of print or hard to find. I looked everywhere for it, but I was only able to find it used, which is great. It's less money that way, and it's in pretty mint condition. So I think you'll find this deck interesting. I'm really excited about it, actually. It's very different. You'll see. It's called the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. And of course, I'm going to use a few other decks for clarifiers. So I'll see you in a second. Let me think for a moment. Did I say everything? Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like. If for some reason some of you watching have been watching me for quite some time, but have not subscribed, I mean, obviously I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you feel like it, maybe you could just go ahead and subscribe. You would definitely get more notifications of when the videos are coming out, or just more information. All right, I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Happy March, you guys. The energy feels different for sure for March. I'm still trying to figure it out. It feels very changeable or watery, maybe because we have so many things in Pisces this month. It's a Pisces month after all. So it definitely feels a little bit more fluid and a little softer than last month, but I'm not going to make any promises. It's just the beginning. So, all right, see you in a few seconds. Take care. Bye. Hello, Cancer. This is going to be your March 2021 General Tarot reading, and we'll just see what comes out. And of course, this is for you if you are a Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon, or Cancer Venus. I hope you guys are well. I'm excited about spring being around the corner. It's already starting to seem a little bit warmer, a little bit more balmy where I live, which is always a nice thing. We'll see how long it lasts for, though. All right. This is for Cancer people for March 2021. For Cancer, March 2021. All right. 11 cards. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to shuffle this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There it is again. I think Taurus got this exact same card in the same position. All right. I'm going to pick a clarifier to go with the top card, and then I'll get started. Oh, wow, that one fell out, so guess that's the one. Okay, let me pick one more. Okay. All right. I already said this in the beginning, but in case you skipped through this part, this reading may or may not resonate for you because it is geared towards a whole collective of people. And so if for some reason this reading does not resonate for you this month, you may want to check out your moon or your other your other signs and other planets and see if any of those resonate more. This one seems fairly specific. So here we go. Your central experience for March is the Seven of Cups. In this image, it's a tattoo artist putting a new tattoo on a woman, and her 7 cups are the 7 colors of the rainbow that she has to work with. It's a whole palette of color. I find this interesting because compared to other tarot decks that show the 7 of Cups, this one doesn't imply that you have to make a particular choice. You can choose many things, or you can choose many paths. You don't necessarily have to choose just one color. There is a choice involved in getting a permanent tattoo on your body. You need to make sure that it's absolutely something that you love and absolutely want on your body. Otherwise, sometimes there can be mistakes where we have regrets on getting certain tattoos that we end up not liking later on. So there's a matter of choice with this, but there's also variety and a whole palette of things to choose from. This may be a dream that you have to become a tattoo artist. This is an analogy. Or become a particular profession in general, or to be able to express your imagination in a number of different ways, in a number of different forms of creativity. It's important to visualize and imagine what is possible for you, or mull over your choices in the matter. You may have more choices than you realize. So, then you have desire. And so it may be, for somebody watching, you may have a desire to go towards a particular craft or a particular person or a particular talent and cultivate that relationship more with whatever that is. There may be somebody that you have a desire for and you're not sure if it is possible, or you're thinking over how this can be done. You definitely have a strong desire for something, and it's important for you to meditate and think over your choices on how you could go about this in fulfilling your desire or going after your desire. Maybe for someone watching, there may be someone who has a desire for you and you're not quite completely sure yet on how you feel about all of that. You may have many different choices or many different things you could choose. Or you have a desire to become an artist, or a desire to bring your creativity into a new form or a slightly different form than you have in the past. And with this, you have hope. You may have partially given up on some kind of a dream or the potential for a relationship with a particular person that you desired, or a particular outcome of your desires, but it seems as though results have been slow in coming, and you may have begun to lose hope, or begun to become too stagnant to the point where you feel like you weren't able to express yourself the way that you really wanted to. But it seems as though hope is pouring into your life, and there is a chance to be able to create something really amazing here. Desire, hope, and the Seven of Cups. You don't necessarily need to make a decision right now. If anything, I'm kind of getting the feeling that a process has started. And so to take your time with it, or to be patient with the process of it instead of hurrying. So, your challenge is the Hanged Man. I'm getting a mixed blessing with this challenge, honestly. As a challenge, it would be saying that things are being held up. If you look at the image, there is the hanged man, which looks like a young person who is hanging upside down on a bar, possibly on some glass doors. And people are either trying to get in or they're trying to get out, and this person is in the way. This kid is holding up the line, or is holding up the crowd by being in the way. There might be a blessing in disguise in all of this, so I would suggest that you try to look at things in a different perspective with this matter. It may be frustrating because you need to get going with this desire that you have, and you have the hope that you can create something new, or the potentials of the situation are making you excited in a certain way, or you've become inspired to start something, but it seems as though motion is slow in coming because something may be in the way. There may be an obstacle in the way. Things may be held up. You may have to wait a little bit before the flow really starts going again. But it seems like a blessing in disguise, so maybe it has to do with timing. If you hurry now and if you resist the fact that certain things are on hold, you may actually miss an opportunity. And there may be something about waiting in this matter where the situation needs to ripen. If you picked fruit and tried to eat it now, it wouldn't be ripe. And so there is some kind of a divine, magical synchronicity kind of a feeling to this that says it's all happening for a reason. So try not to become discouraged. And it also may be saying that it's a challenge for you to feel free enough to really express yourself the way that you are, because you may be a rare bird, or you may be different from a lot of people, or you feel that way. Honestly, there are so many amazing people out there and so many different kinds of people. I understand that we all have moments where we feel too different, like we're not going to be understood, but there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. And it may be that you're frustrated with mainstream society, or you're frustrated with routines, you're frustrated with herd mentality, and you want to fully express yourself and be outside of the box. It may be that you might feel the judgment of others, or you're afraid of the judgment of others if you choose to be yourself. Something about this is a challenge. It may be that you don't have enough kindred spirits or people that are like you around you, and so you feel like you're the only one. You need to do something you do things completely differently from most people, or you want to do things completely differently. My phone's ringing. Hang on, you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, here I am. I needed to take that phone call. It was important. Okay. Let me pick more on this hanged man and see if I get any more information on it. What does the hanged man have to do with in their challenged position? Okay, that looks like an answer right there. Let me pick one more. Yeah. Okay. One specific in here is that if for someone you do have a desire for someone, or you and another have a desire for each other, or someone has a desire for you, there may be something about them that is extremely unconventional and very different and outside of the box. or they feel this way about you, or both of you are very different and outside of the box. But it seems as though you have a desire to go in a more creative, inspired direction in your life where you have trust in the fact that you are different for a reason, that you see things differently for a reason. You have a valuable voice and part to play in the world around you for your unique perspective of things. Even if you may find yourself in certain situations where people just don't get where you're coming from, there are, well, first, there are situations where others may not understand where you're coming from, or understand your perspective of things, or understand why you see things differently. But then there are people who do understand and appreciate your talents, and they are also different. It's important for you to trust the process. If certain things are on hold right now, it's for a good reason. I'm definitely getting something about timing. If this is some kind of a situation where you're not sure if someone will accept you for who you are, you need to trust who you are and trust that perhaps those are just fears. The people that are meant to be in your life will naturally understand you. The people who don't understand fall away. But you need to trust your own innate talents, your own unique perspective, and trust the process of inspiration. This may be a creative block. This could be writer's block. This could be artistic block of some kind, where you have an inspiration, you want to create something out of your imagination, but you need to have hope that you will be heard or that you will be understood. Even if certain people don't understand, there will be people who do understand. Trust and have hope that the flow will get going again, that this blockage will remove itself eventually. You may want to take yourself outside or do something different in order to jog your imagination or jog your perspective in seeing a different perspective in something, and then inspiration will come and the block will be removed. Okay, so what is helping you is the Knight of Wands. In this image, it looks like this man possibly that this knight may have gotten a motorcycle that was broken. And he may have spent days, weeks, months fixing this motorcycle up, getting different parts for it, polishing it up, figuring out what was wrong with it, and then fixing it until finally he was able to accomplish his goal. And he fixed the motorcycle, and now he's mobile and he's able to travel, he's able to go explore in the world. If you look in the background, it looks like there's family members that are happy about this. The look on his face is like, I finally accomplished it. I finally did it. Now I'm mobile. I set out to fix something and then I fixed it. And now I'm full of excitement because now I can go wherever I want. And I also have proved to myself that I can do this on my own. There are people in the background that seem excited for him, like they're cheering him on. But then there's an older woman off to the side who looks absolutely horrified. And that kind of reminds me, he even kind of has the same hair as the person in the Hanged Man, or the Hanged Man. Other people may not understand where you're coming from because this brings up fear for them. when you express yourself completely differently from most people, it can inspire certain people to do the same or to embrace their own uniqueness. It can also make people feel fear because it's something that they're not familiar with. It's a energy that is unpredictable or is changeable or is not part of the normal routine of things. And that makes certain people afraid for you, as if you're somehow crazy or something bad is going to happen because you're outside of the norm. But keep in mind, this fear on her part, she almost looks like she could be this person's mother. She may be just terrified because she knows that statistically motorcycles cause a lot more accidents than cars do, and she's afraid for his life that he's going to get into an accident or become too reckless. But he trusts the process. He knows what he's capable of. These people are cheering him on. So if someone is not understanding where you're coming from or what you're doing, it may be fear because they're afraid for you, or they're afraid for your safety, or they're afraid that somehow you're stirring the pot too much. But keep in mind that's coming from a place of love and care because they care about you, but also discard that and do what you know is right for you. It's okay. It's what's helping you is to be brave and to be persistent with something, to continue to hope and trust that you will be able to manifest your desire. And you'll be glad that you did, to take risks, to do what you know is right for you. It might be you've been held up because you were having car issues and you had to have your car fixed, or learn how to fix your own car because you didn't have enough money to pay a mechanic, and so you did your research. But this can also be an analogy for a story, that I'm trying to trying to say here, which is obstacles may happen in order for you to prove to yourself that you are capable of something that you weren't really sure you were. And if things were held up where you felt as though you couldn't travel, I see travel in the future, or I see that becoming a possibility. This could also be a person in your life that is helping you by showing you these personality traits or these qualities. Some parts of this person may throw you off because it is very loud Sagittarian energy. This is a Sagittarius court card. It's very loud, it's very fiery, it's very in your face. He's very honest, very open about where he's at, male or female. It may be a very different kind of a person than perhaps you have known in the past, but it's inspiring you. So you may be worried for a son or a daughter who is in their early 20s for somebody. You might be afraid that they're being too reckless or too different, or you just don't really understand certain parts of where they're coming from. But what's helping you is to be inspired and to take this as a omen or a message, to be supportive no matter what, and to keep your worries and your fears at bay. It seems as though they're very strong-willed and know what they're doing or know what they want. So try not to worry about them. You might be worried because somebody, a young 20s child, is going to be traveling and you're worried somehow about the traveling. Let's see. The Knight of Cups. I'm also getting a message in here that if you are getting to know someone where there's a very strong chemistry there with someone, they may be very outside of the box or very different from the normal kind of person that you go for, or they may see you this way. They are honest. They are not unpredictable in a bad way. They are honest. Their feelings are real. Um, these two nights are very different from each other. It's important for you to follow your dreams and follow your own personal truth. And don't be afraid to be bold when you need to be. Someone may be inviting you to go travel with them, or someone may show up and ask if you want to go with them somewhere. One of you is, if this is not you and another person, one of you is very sensitive, emotional, calm, spiritual, possibly extremely inspired, a little bit quieter, and the other one is very loud and fiery and extroverted. One of you may be an introvert, the other one may be an extrovert. And so you're wondering how this is going to work or how this will play out in the future. It is important for you to go after what you want or to take initiative and go towards something. You will finally have something work out with transportation so that you can follow your dreams or go where you want to go. Okay, so at your root, in your instincts, you have the Ace of Wands. So you have a complete blank canvas where you can create anything that you wish. It's important right now in March for you to tap into your imagination and to think about different possibilities. You could paint anything. Look, she's a painter, and there's a whole palette of 7 colors of the rainbow down here that this tattoo artist is working with. What colors do you want to use? What do you want to paint? What do you want to create? It seems as though you're extremely inspired to create, and it's important for you to trust your own vision. Trusting your own vision. What's helping you is to be bold. So you may be creating something that is very different from how you used to create in the past. If you're a painter, you might be working with completely different colors than you maybe before. All of your paintings were darker or had more subtle colors in it, like beige, black, blues, greens. And now you're choosing to work with the entire rainbow or focusing more on yellow or red or orange. If you are an artist, you may be deciding to go with a completely different style. Maybe before you painted things that were, this is an analogy by the way, that were more impressionistic or blurry looking or more mystical, and now you're choosing to go more into realism. If you're a musician, maybe before you were more classical or more taught in the classical tradition, and now you're choosing to go in a completely different direction with your music, where you're going with a completely different style, or you're creating your own personal unique style that does not exist in the world because you haven't come up with it yet. And so don't forget that you have endless possibilities, that the only real way you can limit yourself now is with your own mind. You have a blank canvas and you can create whatever it is that you wish. This might be one of the reasons on why I got a feeling of writer's block or artistic block, is you might be intimidated. You might be intimidated because there are so many potentials, so many possibilities. What exactly do you go with? I would say instead of looking at it as a big giant thing that you have to somehow make perfect from the first step, just experiment with it. Don't have any expectations on yourself. Don't have any major pressure on yourself to create something amazing from the first step or the first word or the first stroke. Experiment, feel your way through it. You'll discover more and more about your talents the more you play with it and approach it as something that is fun, that is playful. You're ready to begin something new or start a new process in your life. And you definitely have the inspiration, the energy, the trust, and the hope to do it, and the desire to do it. It's just what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to go for? What do you want to be bold about? There's a new path of action opening up for you. In the recent past, there's the Ace of Coins. You may have started a new job, or come up with a new goal, or a new wish, or a new something that you would like to create or manifest in your life. This new beginning has great potential to continue to grow into the future. Again, take it step by step. I'm getting, don't you, some of you may have been held up because you're expecting too much from yourself. There goes the dog. Let's hope he calms down. Instead, just focus on the, oh gosh, okay, hang on. Okay, hopefully he will stay quiet now. He always thinks that somebody's at the door when no one's there. I think he hears thumps coming from upstairs, and he always thinks somebody's at the door. Okay, we were here. So take this one step at a time. Deal with what's right in front of you in the here and now. Try not to think too much about the future or of the past. You definitely have started something, or you definitely have created. You have a new beginning that has manifested in your life, and you have been diligently learning more about this. This is something new, so you're not an expert. You may have been trained in something, but this is the actualization of actually doing it in real life rather than just learning about it. So it seems as though you're quite dedicated to learning more about this, or to continue with this and to continue to cultivate it. If this didn't have to do with money or work, which normally the coins are, then I would say you have a brand new beginning going on in your life that has a very good chance of lasting, growing, and becoming something greater than it is now. Could even be a relationship that you've begun or that has solidified. It could be an idea for a vision that you have of something you want to manifest or create. It could be a new skill, a new talent, or a new version of a skill or a talent. And also money is starting to come in, or there's a new source of money coming in. If you are not necessarily a worker where you work for a company or for someone else and you are more self-employed, this shows a new opportunity has landed where there's a new source of money. Okay. Your best possible outcome is strength. You have it in you to create what you wish and to persevere, to not give up, to show yourself and other people what you are capable of. You are capable of a lot. You are an extremely strong person. Let me get more on it. She looks like she's celebrating. She looks like she's at a bonfire or a celebration of sorts, or there's been some kind of a culmination of something that she's happy about. Let's find out more about strength. Stay strong in who you are and what you know is right for you. Stay strong and dedicated and loyal to your inspiration. This could be a Leo, or it could be a person in your life as well. Tell me more about strength as their best possible outcome. Surrender. Interesting. Yeah, to surrender. That's reminding me of the Hanged Man. To not need to have control in a situation. To trust that everything's happening for a reason, or that you're being led in the right direction, or that trust yourself. Surrender to the universe as well. Surrender to creative inspiration without necessarily having anything in mind, to allow it to come to you. You know, who was it? Was it Beethoven? I can't remember who it was, or even if maybe it was, maybe it's just a general story for creative geniuses, whether they're painters, musicians, poets, whatever your talent happens to be or your inspiration happens to be, photography, writing, whatever it is. Sometimes we get too caught up in trying to have a vision or trying to come up with something, or when really we just need to surrender for it to come to us. There are, like, Leonardo, was it? No, it was Michelangelo. When Michelangelo did his sculptures, he said that the face was already in the rock. He was just letting it out. Sometimes painters will see visions and they literally look at the vision in their head and try to copy it. It's like, or musicians where the song erupts in their head fully formed with all of it already set up. All you have to do is listen to it in your head and try to record it down. You may be trying too hard when really you just need to trust the process and allow it to come to you. And this could be true of a relationship too, where you may be trying too hard to charm someone or to make someone swoon, or to make someone trust you, or to make something happen when really you just need to surrender to the process and it happens organically. Let me pick one more. Embrace. Yeah, that's basically everything I just said. You're an incredibly strong person. You're extremely talented. You're a warm, generous, caring person. You've possibly experienced things in your life, which is why you are strong. When we are, okay, let's talk about physical strength, being able to lift heavy objects, being able to do things that oftentimes other people ask other people to do for them. It is true that some people are just naturally genetically born predisposed to being physically strong, but it's also a muscle that you have to exercise. In order to become strong physically, you need to lift heavy things and gauge what is your limit at that moment. Otherwise, you would injure yourself and just keep on pushing yourself. This is true of any kind of strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength, mental strength. It's because you have tested yourself. It's because you've possibly flirted with your limits on what you're capable of, and that builds that muscle to become stronger and stronger. So you may have been through things throughout your life that have made you strong because you kept on going, or you kept on pushing your limits, or flirting with your limits. Not too hard, because then you would get injured, but just enough to continue to build that strength up bit by bit over time. On top of all that, though, it's telling you to embrace the process and surrender to the process. A lot of this has to do with intuition. There are two moons. She's embracing the crescent moon, and there's the moon right there. So a lot of this is intuitive, organic, and is about the experience itself rather than planning things too much. There is it is possible to be too strong. The strength card is ruled by Leo, which is a fixed sign. All of the fixed signs have a tendency at times to become too set in their ways, too stubborn, too fixed with things. But it's important for you to embrace your own strength, but try not to become too strong. It's important for you to experiment and experience the process rather than trying to guide it too much or even trying to make sense out of it logically. There's something about March that is asking you to trust the process, have hope and inspiration in the fact that sometimes you really just can't control things. And things may actually be better than you. When we try to control things, it's because we're afraid of lack of control. Being afraid of lack of control happens because we're afraid that bad things are going to happen. I'm simplifying it here. But really, you need to surrender and trust the universe and have hope that if you embrace the process, that you will almost become enlightened or definitely inspired, and to understand things in a new way that you wouldn't have if you had tried to do things in your ordinary, everyday, patterned way. Okay, so let's look at the future. In the future, there is the Queen of Blades. Are you an expert in something? Are you like a master or an expert in some kind of knowledge or special training? I'm still getting something about training in here, that you've had traditional training or very in-depth training with something. You may be called upon for your opinion on something, or even a verdict or a answer or a decision, or to discover new knowledge, or to see what has been in front of you the whole time, but now you're seeing it, to figure something out, or to give out necessary information or knowledge to others. This could also be a person in your life that is prominent in the future for some reason. For some reason, I'm getting for someone a diagnosis. A diagnosis, or you go to a specialist, or you are a specialist in something and other people come to you for a diagnosis on things, whatever that might be. Let me pick more on that. Maybe you discover something. Or you have to set the record straight with something. Maybe you see, I don't know who this is for, but it's coming through. Maybe you see other experts around you and you just can't believe how ignorant they have become with their training. It's like they never went beyond their training and pushed it. The reason why we have knowledge is because somebody at some point in history came up with an idea and decided to test it. And it's like your profession that you are in, or the skills that you have, you've been trained with it traditionally, but the whole reason of science is to push it, to keep on discovering new things, to widen the understanding of the knowledge, instead of you're taught something, you learn that, and then that's that. And there might be something going on where you are disappointed in others around you that are in a similar field or knowledge base, who are not pushing the envelope or not accepting new discoveries. Maybe there's already been new discoveries, but people are denying them as if it's not real. It's almost like the mainstream wants it to stay the same rather than growing, but you seem very adamant about this, where you want to tell people, hey, you need to stop that. We need to actually grow this science or grow this knowledge and continue with it and have it evolve. Otherwise, you could end up hurting people. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Let me pick one more to go with it, see if I get anything. Or you recognize that that's not all that there is, that there's more going on than meets the eye. You might be discovering a new way of understanding that the things that normally don't meet the eye in a way where it can meet the eye. Something about taking things that people have been taught aren't real and then somehow proving how they are real by discovering a new way of measuring things, measuring things on a more subtle level. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay. Past lives. Oh, yeah. Okay. That came out of the blue. Let's pick one more. Resilience. Are you somebody might be fulfilling something now that they started in past lifetimes, and you have been resilient with this path through many lifetimes, and it seems like something is coming to a head. Okay, let me show you what I saw originally here. I don't know why this is coming out, but I'm just going to assume that it's important for someone to hear. So, this can also be a teacher, by the way. This doesn't have to be you. This could be a teacher who is enlightening you by giving you some information that is much needed, that can help you along your way, or some kind of diagnosis. But I am getting, for someone or a group of you, you have had past lifetimes where you were this scientist, doctor, mathematician, genius, somebody who figured these things out to begin with. We have acupuncture in the world because for thousands and thousands of years people have been perfecting it and learning about it and discovering it. In past lifetimes, you were a very rational person that may have been part of a system or a way of being that was very regimented or had a lot of rules to it. You may have had to behave in certain ways in order to be respected by other people, society, where you couldn't goof. Obviously, when you're a surgeon, you have to be extremely careful about how you are performing those surgeries. Otherwise, you could accidentally kill someone or get sued. So it's almost like you had to be a perfectionist, or you had to be precise at everything that you did. Otherwise, it could completely ruin what you were known for, as well as possibly affect other people's lives negatively. This could be a judge. This could be a lot of things. You may have worked in the legal world. I see you as being very mundane in past lifetimes, or very normal, let's put it that way. But this lifetime, it looks like you are walking a path of being completely unconventional and different. This might have something to do with why other people's opinions of you or judgments of you affect you so much, is because you were actually in the past one of those people. You might have a fear of people judging you because perhaps in past lifetimes you judged others that you didn't understand because they were extremely different from you and understood things in a completely different way, possibly in a more spiritual way. But this lifetime you are meant to embrace the unconventional, to be your truest self without any fear of or blockages caused by other possibly other people's judgments or opinions of you. You are meant to be outside of the box now, or you are meant to truly be yourself with no rules or no feelings of that you have to be a certain way. This might be one of the reasons on why this annoys you so much. is because you understand that mindset, because once upon a time you may have been like that yourself. But it's time for you to release this now. No one is going to burn you at the stake or put you in jail for being different now. Things are not the way that they used to be back then. But you still have a part of your personality that is very particular about what you know to be actual true knowledge and what you know to be false knowledge. And there is a lot of misinformation going around. And it's almost like you want to correct something. And if you are resilient, then you will persevere and you are strong enough to follow through with any part of your destiny that you came here to fulfill. But also, try not to control the process. Try not to don't think that you have it all figured out, because you don't, and you're not meant to figure it all out. Instead, I'm getting a completely different kind of experience for you that has nothing to do with any of that. Instead, it's simply about being a channel, or about surrendering to inspiration and following your desires. So, okay? And also, if you encounter someone that is like this, take what they say with a grain of salt. They may very well be extremely accurate in their diagnosis or their understanding of it or the knowledge that they have to give to you, but that is not the end-all be-all. And so don't allow this person to intimidate you, because your type of understanding or your type of intelligence is equal to this, if not a little bit beyond it. And so don't let anyone else's intellectualism or a way of understanding things make you feel like you are somehow less than them. If anything, I could see how possibly sometimes, every now and then, the Queen of Swords could come across as being kind of a know-it-all. So if you do need information from someone that you have to go to who's an expert in something, don't let them intimidate you. If you intuitively feel that there may be something else going on, either along with this or that is completely different from what this person is saying, I would tell you to listen to your intuition and do your own research and look into it further before you take someone's word as being the absolute truth, or get a second opinion. Okay, so right now you are the Knight of Coins. Again, I'm seeing something about maybe a self-employed work situation for yourself or new clients. And also, I'm getting something in here about vehicles and travel, like prepping up vehicles, fixing vehicles, or cleaning vehicles. This Knight of Pentacles is cleaning his car. Either he's cleaning his car or he's a car washer for a living, or as a way to make money. I have no idea why this girl is laughing at him. It looks like she's laughing at him. Let me look. It looks like she's looking above his head, though, and looking at something else. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's just mirroring that same thing from before of, like, there's something about other people's opinions or ways that they see you that is affecting you somehow. But pay no mind to it. The man in the picture certainly isn't, even though he looks slightly annoyed, like he knows that people are laughing at him, but he's choosing to ignore it. So who cares? Who cares what other people think? He knows what he's doing. And he may be cleaning this vehicle and shining up his vehicle because he's getting ready to go on some kind of a big trip. He is a knight after all, and knights go on quests. Maybe where you're at is not the right place for you. Maybe the mentality that surrounds you where you are now is not your place, and you're meant for bigger, better things, or to go travel and explore other places where you can feel as though you are understood, or there are other people that are different like you. But let me pick one more. It's also a slow process, so there's something in here about having to be patient as well. So let's see. Tell me more about the Knight of Coins. It might be a profession thing with status where you're tired of being looked down upon simply because you may have a totally different kind of job. You may not be, where is it? You may not be a professional in that sense. You may do something else for a living that is more creative or is simpler or just, but you're annoyed with the mentality that somehow you're less than or less intelligent because you are not a professional or you do something else. It's almost like you're fearing other people judging you, thinking that you are lower down on the totem pole or not that, not good enough, or not that, just, I don't know. Okay, let me pick one more. But again, you need to let go of that. Who cares what other people think? Patience. You're having to be patient about something. If you're getting ready for a trip or you have future goals of things you're about to do, you're having to be patient now because you need to prep. You need to prep things up and get ready and get literally, like physically get ready, get your money together, if you're going to be going away, you need to figure out this man obviously has a cat. You have to think, okay, who am I going to have cat sit for me while I'm away? Or I need to get all of my bills paid so I don't have to think about that while I'm away. You have to prep, you have to get things ready, and that way when it is time to go, all of your ducks will be in a row and everything will be set so you can just simply enjoy the process. So have patience with your goals, whatever it is that you're trying to create now or that you're learning about or exploring. Be patient with the process. There is no reason to hurry here, and really if you tried to, I have a feeling you would be premature. Remember, the Hanged Man was your obstacle, but I also got a really strong feeling that it's important. You might be thinking of it as a obstacle when really it's not. Things are put on hold for a reason, so that when you do go, or when the motion does start again, you will be ready, or the situation will be ready. So in your surroundings, you have the Six of Wands. You are being acknowledged for something that you have done. This could be a goal that you've had. I mean, obviously in this case, it's a race. It's a jump runner. What do they call those? Where you have to run and then jump over bars in the way. It might be a feeling of competition, or even an actual competition, whether it's an artist competition, a musical competition, a writing competition, a physical athletic competition, whatever it happens to be. It's like you are pushing yourself just a little bit more in order to prove to yourself what you are capable of, or to perfect what it is that you do. And you are being acknowledged for your talents and your gifts. You're coming out a winner here. You have won something. Or you feel good. You feel confident. You feel sure of yourself. You are accomplishing something that you set out to do. So that's pretty amazing. Maybe I'll pick one more to go with that. You have a desire to go after something and you decide to go after it and then you win. or you accomplish it. The shadow. You have overcome your shadow. Yeah, there's this reading is screaming about your self-worth versus what other people think. But again, who cares? You are an amazing person. And some of this shadow stuff may have to do with past lifetimes that you've had. And you shouldn't be, your shadow has pointed out to you where you haven't felt like a winner, and it has forced you to persevere and be strong, and also to surrender to the process and not let those fears get in the way. And you come out onto the other side of it. You have acknowledged, worked with, and integrated your shadow and have been able to transmute it. And where now you don't look to anybody or fear anybody's input because you know who you are. And you are amazing at whatever it is that you do. Okay, so your fear is of the Four of Cups. Your fear is of staying in some kind of an emotional state where you feel blank, or you feel where you can't feel your feelings, you feel numb, or you're filled with inertia, or why bother, the energy of why bother, that you are going to continue to stay in that state. You are feeling very inspired. And if you're not feeling very inspired, you're about to feel extremely inspired. And so if you are stuck in this state of apathy, or why bother, it's not going to work out anyway, or, why have inspiration, why have hope, why go after my desires? Where is it? You have hope, trust, surrender, inspiration, desire. But it seems as though this person in the picture is not feeling those things at all. Maybe you're coming out of a period of the doldrums, a long-term doldrum state where you just didn't feel those things anymore. And you kind of may have gotten into an emotional rut. Even if other people offer you things, even if other people try to bring you out of it, this might even be a state of depression, where you're coming out of depression, or you're coming out of an emotional state that no one could really seem to pull you out of it, or even yourself couldn't pull you out of it. You might be afraid of sinking back into this state again. Or you are frustrated because you are trying to pull someone else out of this state, and you've done everything in your power to try to snap them out of it, or to get them to come back to life, or to come out of their state of apathy that they've been in. It feels frustrating. Let's see, let me pick more on it. Empowerment. Yeah, or this could be your hope too. Your hope might be saying that you want to be a force of empowerment in the world for others, where you are able to try your best to empower others and to help them through difficult situations, to build up self-esteem and empowerment rather than disempowerment. It could be your hope or your fear. So your general outcome is the Two of Cups. This is love, relationships, kindred spirits, soulmates, companions. Even if we think of the word soulmate, at least in England, right, or in the UK, mate means friend. Mate doesn't have to mean your, sexual mate that you have children with. It can mean friend. How are you doing today, mate? Things like, I think they say that in Australia, don't they? So, in a way, soulmate can be love, it can be attraction, it can be chemistry, it can be desire, it can be passion. It can also be a soul friend or somebody that you just absolutely enjoy the company of, where you feel like you've come home by being around them. This is in your general outcome. So you have support, you have love, you have soulmates. And you may have the budding of an actual, real, deep relationship with another person where the chemistry is off the charts. And you do have a way to see eye to eye. Maybe one of you is very conventional and one of you is very unconventional, but it seems as though the bond is so strong that you're working on compromising and trying to figure out a way to work this out, where you can complement each other instead of working against each other, or understand each other versus not understanding each other. So let me pick one more. Tell me more about the Two of Cups. Magic. Wow. Look at that. Magic. Magic soulmates, magic love, magic companionship. Finding your place where the majority of people are like you or can understand you, or vice versa. Magic, something magical is happening. You are manifesting. Let me look at this picture for a minute. It's a rabbit. It's the white rabbit in the top hat. There's a flying dove. And there's a mime. Maybe someone's trying to get your attention or communicate, or the ways in which you communicate are very different. But you somehow manage to figure out a way to magically understand each other, or start to understand each other's language. Maybe one of you in the beginning wasn't paying attention or wasn't even aware that the other person was interested or even there. And the other person was quiet about it. But their desire was so strong that they finally found a way to communicate to you that they were interested in, where you could actually get to know each other. Otherwise, this could have been a missed opportunity. If he hadn't reached out in some way to try to get her attention, they never would have met. They never would have had a chance to get to know each other. Or, again, one of you is much more proper or normal, and the other one is very different. But just as equally important. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll just pick one last little message and then I'll let you go. I hope that March 2021 treats you well. And that we have a beautiful spring. Signs. You will be given signs. I'm kind of curious. What are the signs? Whoa. Passion. First there's the desire, and then there's the outcome of the desire, or you receive what you desired. Okay. Take care, you guys. See you later. Bye.